Talking Taker. We are here, episode number 15 of our encyclopedic exploration, digging up the career of the greatest professional wrestling character and creation of all time. Joining me along on this journey of Dead Man Talking, as always, is my tag team partner, Travis White, and my name is Alex Dorio, and this right here is WrestleMania 11. Can you believe it? Our fourth WrestleMania together.
Oh, no, man. Flying by.
Flying
happy
right by.
Thanksgiving to all of you. Thanksgiving was yesterday. So, happy Thanksgiving, happy Turkey Day to all of you. You've already downloaded Pritchard's podcast. It came out on Thanksgiving, so listen to us today.
There you go. You can listen to us on the ride home.
Exactly. The ride home from your family. Listen to Talking Taker. So, thanks for bringing us into your homes, everybody. We got lots of followers and downloads and tweets and likes and YouTube views. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. So
we do. You're our second family, so we appreciate you joining us and making us your Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving Eve. What's the day after Thanksgiving tradition? We'll just say that.
Black Friday.
Your Black Friday tradition.
Black Friday shopping.
Yeah. Just like Survivor Series was the Thanksgiving Eve tradition, or your Black Friday tradition.
Exactly. We will be next.
Yeah, we will be next year.
Yeah, man, WrestleMania 11. This is April 2nd, 1995. Hartford, Connecticut, dude. Like,
so
that's
weird.
Strange.
Very
really
strange.
Weird. Not a lot of wrestling fans in Connecticut, it seems like.
Yeah, when you look back...
Fans.
Say what?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you look back at the legacy of WrestleMania and you see New York City, Chicago, Miami,
New Orleans,
Atlanta. Los Angeles, Hartford, Connecticut, it just seems really weird in there. And, you know, it's not a huge arena or anything. It's, like we said in the last episode, 95 is a weird time for the WWF. It's a down time, and they're really leaning hard on celebrities to carry the brand rather than the superstars. They don't have any real mega stars to carry the show, or they don't have confidence in them. You know, maybe they are bigger stars, and we've talked about how big a star The Undertaker is, but I guess they don't have the confidence in them to push the brand. So we've seen with Leslie Nielsen, Chuck Norris, Pamela Anderson, now all these celebrities with WrestleMania 11, and they've kind of retconned, if you will, WrestleMania into being a celebrity event more than a wrestling event. And you can see that on the opening video for the show. They go through every WrestleMania, showing a clip from every WrestleMania, but all it does is show a clip of each celebrity from each WrestleMania. It doesn't show any wrestlers in the entire clip. It just goes through each WrestleMania and shows Ray Charles, Mr. T, Liberace, Reba McEntire, Willie Nelson. Yeah, it's very telling of what they want to focus on right now. And it's that thankfully they've moved away from that and made the wrestlers the stars nowadays, a lot more so than celebrities, but very, very telling of the times.
Yeah, that's true, man. Like, they still use celebrities at WrestleMania, and they still will continue to do so. But yeah, this was the first one where it's just like, might as well call it Celebrity Mania, man. Because you got Jonathan Taylor Thomas, you know, the voice of young Simba. You know, Tool Time, or was it Home Improvement? Yeah. Right. Where's that guy been?
Like, since time for a comeback.
2001. Yeah, he should come back to WrestleMania next year. I'll be down for that. Yeah. But anyway, he's involved. What's the guy's name from Law and Order or NYPD Blue?
NYPD Blue. Nicholas Turturro.
Nick Turturro's on. He's like a backstage commentator.
He is.
He's like Renee Young nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a really funny video. I'll post it on the Twitter and everything this week. There's like a promo for WrestleMania where he's interrogating Paul Bearer and Mr. Fuji about Yokozuna. It's really funny. We'll have to post that on there.
You know, you got the winner of the Royal Rumble from our last episode was supposed to be accompanied by Pamela Anderson to the main event of WrestleMania. But that turns around during the show, and you get Jenny McCarthy.
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper, you know. Did they sing What a Man?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
All the football players that are with Lawrence Taylor, including Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, the future Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Mongo McMichael. Wow, that pains me to say that. Remember my Mongo McMichael toy I had?
I do, with the backwards hand.
He had two left hands. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I had that toy. Anyway, but yeah, it's a weird time in the World Wrestling Federation. Again, this show is going to be headlined by Bam Bam Bigelow versus an NFL player.
Right.
Mark Taylor. So very strange. You just had this Royal Rumble last or 2 months ago. You can catch our episode, our last episode. We don't talk about the Rumble, in it, but Shawn Michaels wins. He comes in at number 1. He and Davey Boy Smith were number 1 and 2. They're also number 29 and 30 in the match. Really cool. Although the Rumble was shortened to only 60 seconds in between.
It's the shortest Royal Rumble on record.
It's weird. So even though he lasted from number 1, he was only in it for like 38 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but still, cool Rumble. That's the first time they told the story of, Ric Flair won from.
But he was number 3.
He was number, but still, so this is the first time they told that story. It's really cool. Seeing Shawn Michaels win it to headline WrestleMania against his once best friend, the guy he brought into the World Wrestling Federation, Diesel, has been the champion since the night after Survivor Series. This storyline has 2 years of story. He brought Diesel in '93, and here we are in WrestleMania in '95, and they're going to headline the show. Except they're not going to headline the show.
No.
It's Bam Bam and a football player who does a fantastic job.
It is. It's the best possible outcome of a non-wrestler against a wrestler. But, I think, again, we talk about this all the time. We're fans. We've watched wrestling for 25 years. That's our experience. We never been in the business, never claimed to be, but we're just giving our perspective as fans. But I feel like the celebrities, when you bring celebrities into wrestling, they're there to enhance the wrestlers, give them a rub, make them bigger superstars. That's what you want. Like Mike Tyson with Steve Austin. That's your best case scenario. This show is bringing in the celebrities to hopefully people will buy this pay-per-view because the celebrities are there and we're going to make them the focus of everything. They're not giving the rub to any of the wrestlers, really. They're just there to hopefully pop one big buy rate. And it's the worst case scenario of bringing celebrities in.
Yeah, it's very true. I have nothing else to add to that, but it's definitely true. And I just wrote it's definitely a sports entertainment show, Definitely not a WrestleMania. It's more like sports entertainment mania.
Yep.
Which some of them are nowadays or have been in the past. This one's definitely got that feel. We mentioned it's the new generation. It's these Diesel's at the top of the card, and Shawn Michaels is up there with him. But again, you got, like I said in the last episode, DiBiase, his corporation is in play in all these matches. And in fact, headlining the show with Bam Bam.
Yeah, he's all over the show.
And the tag title matches and stuff like that, and it's just he's got his hand. Which again, I appreciate the continuity there and how they how they kind of infiltrate a lot more than just they don't have one storyline going on with their faction. They're all over the card, so very good.
Well, before we get into it, just one more point on that. Just thinking about it now as we're talking, unfortunately nowadays the problem in a very similar way is with WrestleMania is that it's become part-timer mania with you're bringing in the celebrities are now the wrestlers who have gone beyond WWE, whether it's Rock or Jericho or even Cena, almost to a point now. He's almost graduated to that same level where you got to fit all of these guys in, and the Undertaker, not to bash on him because we're making this podcast about him, but he almost became a part of the problem the past couple of years with WrestleMania. As all the guys that are there year round that are putting the company on their backs, they kind of get pushed to the side at WrestleMania, and it becomes about all these celebrities who are now the part-time wrestlers, and it kind of loses its way. It loses its focus, and you don't make any new stars that way. They're not there giving the rub. They're just there taking all the attention. So I'm sure we'll talk about that more in later episodes too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll hit that as we continue to see that unfold here. But this is Undertaker's WrestleMania. You said this is his 4th one we've done together, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because he missed he missed last year, right?
Missed WrestleMania 10.
Back injury. So yeah, this is this is next one. So I went back. I think you did too. We went back and watched the Raw beforehand just to get some context. I read up about what he was doing since the last show and everything. And the Raw before this was basically just what nowadays we call the pre-show.
Yeah, just a lot of
on the network,
recaps, video packages.
Yeah, video packages and interviews. And did you notice Vince McMahon's turtleneck, dude?
Oh yeah.
It says WWF Raw on like electric blue on the turtleneck.
They need to sell that. Yeah.
I looked for it online. I couldn't find it. We should make it and sell it on Pro Wrestling Tees.
We'll make those on the Talking Taker store. Yep.
We'll send you one if you send us a picture from the last podcast.
We'll put an urn on there instead of the WWF logo. It'll look good.
So good. But it's basically an infomercial, but this is a promo from Undertaker, and he has like this over the top purple eyeshadow.
Yeah.
And he looks like the Crow too. He's got this black face paint like coming up, like mascara coming out like the corners of his eyes, almost like a precursor to what Sting would look like. I just noted that like it wasn't as over the top and Crow like as Sting, but it just was definitely very different from what we've seen.
He doesn't
have it on during the match.
No, just in this promo.
Bundy, the end is at hand. It's time to meet your maker. It's time to rest in peace.
He's also standing in like a broom closet for this promo too.
Yeah. It's like Bruce Pritchard's like, shoot, we got to shoot this real quick. Yeah. Vince wants a promo. Shove you in this closet and do it. So, and again, this point, storyline-wise, DiBiase's got the urn still. And now, in the meantime, what did I miss? We've added Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine, to the corporation.
Right. Kama has joined the corporation, and he'll play a significant role in this match and build to the next part of The Undertaker's year in 1995, and we'll get to that in a second. Right. But this time he's facing King Kong Bundy, third on the card on this show, so still near the bottom half of the card. Up one spot, yeah. We got King and Vince McMahon again on commentary, so a little bit more stability in the commentary area. And, I mean, how do you feel about King Kong Bundy? I ranted all about IRS on the last episode, so we'll go to you before we get into the match. What are your thoughts on King Kong Bundy?
Again, nowadays he cracks me up. He was on a Vince Russo podcast and he was hilarious.
Oh, really?
But, yeah. It's somewhere in his archives. It's hilarious, but he doesn't hold anything back. But at the time, like looking back at him, and he comes out. Do you notice he chatters his teeth the whole time?
Yeah.
Was that a thing? Was that a thing he did? I don't remember him like. I don't remember that being like one of his little things, like But he's just, to me, he's just another big man. I can't tell where his head stops and his neck starts. He's like Barney Rubble. That's not a knock on him. He just, that's the way he's built. He just his head, he's a big head on his shoulders. But I mentioned a few episodes ago, it looks like when Big Show shaves his head and his goatee, it looks like King Kong Bundy just squished down. But I know and I put him over last episode about him being a WrestleMania headliner, and he is. And that's a good,
can't take that away.
Undertaker to be, you can't. You never take away from The Miz either, So, or Lawrence Taylor for that matter. So, not a lot of guys can say they may have been WrestleMania, but King Kong Bundy did, and again, I don't get it, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. 1986 when he headlined, that match came out before I was born. So, half a month before I was born. So, I didn't see that. Wasn't around for his heyday. But here, if he's come back, I just don't, I don't get it. But it's a good rub for Undertaker to be in this match. If he's going to have a match, it's a list as we go through the streak on WrestleMania. I mean, he's annihilating good opponents sometimes. You got Jake the Snake, was one of them. I'm sure King Kong Bundy, is he in the Hall of Fame?
He's not.
If not, he will be. He won't be a first ballot guy, but he'll be one of those little, side ones they do real quick, or he'll be one of the here's the quick nominees. And they do a little video of him. He'll be in there.
Yeah.
He's a WrestleMania honor.
Eventually,
I just don't get it. Honestly. He's
a weird fit for this era. We're supposed to be in the new generation, and he is just your prototypical 80s wrestler.
Yeah,
I don't know any other way to put it. He has just the generic singlet, the big, fat, bald, not tough, but just a big guy who looks like what a wrestler used to look like. and
Right.
He'd been wrestling for a long time at this point. I didn't realize it back then, but he was in World Class back in like the early '80s. He had hair back then, so it's kind of funny to go look at that on YouTube or on the WWE Network or something. But man, I think he was only, I looked it up today, he was about 38 or 39 at this WrestleMania, so not super old, but still, he'd been wrestling for a long time. He's associated with WrestleMania 2 in the 80s. He's just, like I said, is a weird fit to be making a comeback in this new generation era. And yeah, I just don't get it. He's not an exciting wrestler to watch, but it kind of makes you... I guess it gives Undertaker a little bit of a rub to beat an older guy, a main event type guy. And as you said, this is part of his streak. And did you catch on commentary, I think this is the first time they mentioned any sort of streak on there. Vince McMahon says...
Undertaker on his way to the ring, a man who's never lost at WrestleMania.
So,
Yeah.
Everyone likes to think, oh, when did they really start making the streak a thing? Well, you can look at WrestleMania 11. That's the first time it's ever referenced at all. The Undertaker is undefeated at WrestleMania. So whether or not they were planning on making it a thing, they at least had noticed it at this point.
Exactly. I wrote that down too. I just wrote that's very interesting because I know we don't really tend to think of it becoming a thing until like around, Randy Orton maybe? When Randy Orton he feuded?
So somewhere around there
maybe
probably.
Before, maybe even 2001 when he and Triple H.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, right here, I was blown away, man. I was like, man, I didn't realize that they even noticed at this point, but that was cool that they did. But I guess we're getting in the match here. Bundy comes out again with DiBiase and his music, and in the meantime, we go to... Oh, you want to talk about going off on somebody who I can't stand? I cannot stand Todd Pettengill. And watching all these old videos and watching these old Raws, seeing him on the Raw before this, sitting there next to Vince McMahon, I don't know why Vince didn't just lean over and punch him. Like, I can't imagine Vince McMahon enjoyed this guy's company. Like, he is just a massive, to me, just a tool. His haircut is his haircut doesn't even fit in 95.
Right.
He's got the, oh man, I just can't even. He's got this terrible haircut. He's got a wedding ring, so he's married to somebody. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who she is, but he just drives me nuts, man. And he has a stupid earring. I can't stand it. He just looks like a jabroni, man. But anyway, so
that's funny.
I say all that to say
as a kid, man, Todd Pettengill was like the funniest guy to me. I just I wanted his job, wanted to be him.
Oh,
so
yeah,
as a kid. I always thought, oh man, he's so cool, he's so funny, but definitely looking back on it, he's such a goof, just big goober.
Yeah, he's awful, man. I just can't stand him. But he's interviewing Neil Anderson from the NFL, former Chicago Bears, I think, player. And he, they're just completely not even talking about this match. It's like a WCW thing to do, you know? Very much. They don't talk about this match. They talk about the main event. So again, going back to what you said about this show is all about the what should be supporting act, but it's actually the featured players, which are the NFL, the celebrities, and even our referee, who is Larry Young from the American League of the MLB. This is during the time of the
baseball strike,
baseball strike,
or umpire strike, something,
umpire strike, he's an umpire from the MLB. So again,
it looks like
capitalizing on that.
Looks like a fat Mark Summers from Double Dare.
He does. That's a perfect way to put it. Oh man, it's just like that. I'm flabbergasted. Yeah, but anyway, so that's all cut. He's doing that interview with Pettengill's doing that interview with the NFL player during like Undertaker's music hits at the end of his interview, and he's like, "Oh, now the Undertaker." So that's another reason I hated him too, just because like he took away from Undertaker's entrance.
There you go.
But gong hit, lights are out, and Lawler said,
"Now your tuxedo finally looks good."
A good line.
Finally looks good. That was a Heenan line if I've ever heard one.
Yeah,
that was so good. Like I can just see Heenan and Gorilla.
Oh yeah,
exchanging that.
I wrote that one down too.
Yeah, that was funny. But the whole crowd's on their feet, man. I noticed that, like the whole crowd. I mean, the entire crowd is on their feet when Undertaker's entrance. Like no one's sitting down. Now that'll change during the match.
Yes,
but for this entrance, again, not a lot of wrestling fans in Connecticut.
Not a great crowd at all.
No. So, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is where Vince points out he's never lost at WrestleMania, which is again a cool fact there.
I wrote this down. I guess Jerry Lawler said this about Undertaker. I didn't write down what the reference was to, but he called Undertaker "death warmed over in a waffle iron."
Yeah. I was like, it's like
what
he
does that mean?
Going for like two different puns, and like he just collapsed them on each other. It's like, yeah, like death warmed over is one, then he just says in a waffle iron. It's like, all right,
okay, sure.
Took the wind out of that joke. Not that the other one was good, but it's better than Constantine's obese blood ragu. Anyway.
The storyline has been that Undertaker, that Paul Bear,
DiBiase still has the urn.
DiBiase has the urn, and the Undertaker hasn't been looking right without it. He hasn't been at his full strength or full powers without it. So he's is trying to bring down the Undertaker. Ted DiBiase is with King Kong Bundy, who is the cornerstone of the $1 Million Corporation at 440 pounds. They said he weighed in at right then.
That's probably a shoot too.
It's probably close to it. You know,
if not, he's only up by like 30 pounds.
He's probably close. Yeah,
he's a big boy. He's a big boy.
And they do. I guess this was pretty common for Undertaker's match. We've seen it a bunch here. That the match starts off with the Undertaker with his back turned and his opponent sneak attacks him. We saw it in the last match. I think we've seen it a couple other times too. So Undertaker he no-sells it always, and he gives some uppercuts to King Kong Bundy and hits the old school super early.
That's the first wrestling move he does. Yeah. But I noticed it was weird to me because all he does before that is chops and kicks, and then all of a sudden he wrenches the arm and goes for old school, and I was like, again, I'm not going to critique any of these guys' work, but from a psychology standpoint, why wouldn't Bundy just pull him off?
Right.
That part didn't make sense, and I don't know, it was a rare hiccup in Undertaker's psychology and stuff, because again, it may have just been his opponent, but it was really weird because it took a long time to get the old school move going.
Yeah.
And Bundy could have easily it's like he wasn't beaten down beforehand. He just got chopped and kicked. So
I guess they're just mesmerized by the Undertaker. That's how I always justified it in my head as a kid. Why they never just pulled him off. They're just hypnotized by what he's doing. And he has powerful grip or something like that.
Yeah. But I wrote though, when he does old school, it does not get a huge pop.
No.
Not used to. But they do pop. After that, he clotheslines Bundy just in the ring, and the crowd pops more for the clothesline than they do for his top rope old school. So. And then Bundy. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that Bundy won't go off his feet for a while, but he finally does bump off the clothesline. Finally does go down.
That's what. Yeah, I missed to say that. That's what makes the crowd pop. He finally gets these big guys off his feet, and Taker gets clotheslined over the top rope to the floor again. Stands on his feet, grabs the urn from DiBiase and just hands it to Paul Bear.
That was it.
And it's like this months and months of build up. We got to get the urn back, and he just takes it from him. he just takes it from him. But again, DiBiase is not like DiBiase. It's like Harvey Whippleman. I mean, he made event at WrestleMania 4, didn't he? Against
Ted DiBiase, yeah.
So again, and he is a solid worker. I do enjoy DiBiase's matches.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But he just gets it taken from him. So, but Vince McMahon at this point says, "What an ovation!" That's just he loves the ovation that the crowd gives him, whether it's there or not.
Yeah,
getting the back.
Well, the crowd might not be excited, but Paul Bear is like a kid reunited with his lost teddy bear. Man, he's so excited to have his urn back. He pops the top off and starts waving the flashlight part of it around. It is made his day.
The lights are on. The lights are on in the arena, and he's doesn't care because he lets the little flashlight shine out.
He got his toy back.
Yeah, man. And again, still the Icro Pro, the jacked up urn. For those of you keeping track, this urn's been working out.
The funny thing with that urn too is that the lid is not very secure on there. DiBiase drops the lid off there. Undertaker drops it off. Kama drops it off later on. They never fix that.
Yeah. So after this, he gets the urn back. And DiBiase just waves up the ramp like he's waving at somebody, and the camera doesn't catch it at first. And Jerry Lawler and Vince point out, "Oh, he's waving for somebody to come down." Then the camera catches it. But at this point, Kama comes down again. You talk about ring attire, what? He's wearing a singlet with a T-shirt underneath.
Yeah,
the white Hanes T-shirt with his name, and and then he's just wearing like a red singlet over it. It's just
as a kid, I never understood that.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. But man, bless Charles White. Like this dude, Charles Wright, right?
I think it's
anyway,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, he has had talk about a career like in gimmicks, man.
Yes.
That dude, and he put everything into it. And he's already, he didn't really feud with Taker. We talked about that was a missed opportunity. Remember, he should have feuded with him as Papa Shango.
Yeah.
True. But here he gets to feud with him not as Papa Shango, but as Kama, the
Supreme Fighting Machine. Kind of they're going for a UFC. Also, remember that video game Killer Instinct?
Oh, love it.
And he's kind of supposed to be what's the character on there? I can't remember his name.
Oh, is he supposed to be like the boxer from
the black guy on there. Yeah.
Street Fighter. Yeah, TJ Combo from Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Yeah. That's who he's kind of modeled after.
I love Combo.
Me too. Good. I did not love Combo, but
he and Orchid are my favorites to play with. Anyway, it's just his haircut's awesome though, for sure. It's definitely 90s haircut. I mean, it is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air haircut. It's awesome.
So he comes out, and the whole point of this match is to build to that feud. It really seems like that's why this match exists, because Combo runs out, punches Paul Bearer, and steals the urn away from him. And Undertaker tries to put the claw on him to stop him, but Kama's able to run away after King Kong Bundy hits Undertaker from behind, and now Kama is in possession of the urn.
Yeah. And I wrote here, like, he runs up the aisleway, and again, you'd think that maybe that'll be the end of the match, but the match goes on for several more minutes, but he's in, like, a picture-in-picture with JR.
JR interviews him in the middle of the match.
Yeah, in the middle of a match, JR interviews him, and Kama says he's going to melt the urn down, make it into a chain, and then wear it around his neck.
What's the meaning of this? Why do you have the urn? This urn is mine now. And with this urn, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to melt this urn down, and I'm going to put it on a chain and put it around my neck, because this urn is mine. It doesn't belong to you.
Which, again, I just thought, like, why don't you just show that on Raw? Like, that it's, like, I don't know why he had to say it, because, like, again, sometimes Vince McMahon is very guilty of not letting subtlety be around. I've pointed that out a lot of times. It's like he doesn't want the audience to have to think about anything, so he's like, here's what we're going to do. And then Lawler even reiterates the entire conversation on the commentary. It's like, did you hear that, Vince? Did you hear that, Vince? He's going to take it, melt it down, and wear it around as a necklace around his neck. Like, we got it, man. Like, you could have let that play out for a little while. So, oh, well.
But why? I mean, why is that his desire? What?
I don't know. Maybe it's easier to steal an urn than it is a necklace off somebody? I don't know. So, because, like, if you have the urn, why don't you just have the urn? Why does it, like, what good does it do to melt it and wear it as a necklace?
I don't know. So it's supposed to be like an insulting thing, I guess, but is it because he's black? I mean, is it because he's supposed to be just like some rich guy, like a thug or something, that he wants to have a big gold necklace? I never understood that. I don't know why. Why isn't he just, I don't know. He could do anything with it, but he wants to wear it as a necklace. Like, someone thought of that. Maybe Vince thought of that, and no one, like, said, that's a stupid idea, Vince. They're just like, oh, yeah, you wear it as a necklace. And we got that. That's what happens.
I don't know. I mean, we already have seen Undertaker rip off a necklace from Hulk Hogan way back when.
That's true.
You know, it's not like he's afraid of them, you know? It's not a casket, like, from a big man. Like, he's not afraid to rip your necklace off.
That's true.
And drop it on your head. So, I don't know. But we'll get to Kama later on in future episodes. Well, the next one, I guess.
Next one.
Yeah. And then, again, back to the match here. Bundy's in control. I always want to say either Al or Ted. And it's not either Al or Ted Bundy. It's King Kong Bundy. He's in control with a bunch of chokes. And the crowd's chanting, rest in peace. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
They're chanting rest in peace. And then the camera pans back, and I see that Paul Bearer is leading them in orchestrating the rest in peace chant. So I was like, dang you, Connecticut. I was going to give you something there. I thought you guys were coming alive for the rest in peace chant. But
Paul Bear's doing his job, man. You got a dead crowd, and he's trying to wake him up. That's what managers should do.
Now, he doesn't have that urn, you know, so he's got to do something else, you know. So he's getting the crowd into it. And Bundy does a slam and then like a big splash, and then he gets a 2 count, and then he has a headlock on Taker. which some people call a rest hold or whatever. It's a rest spot in the match. And it is a long headlock.
Yeah.
It is a Randy Orton 2007 headlock, man. It is a really long headlock. And I just wrote here, like, the crowd in the front, they look absolutely bored out of their mind.
Yeah.
I mean, like, which, again, that's part on the match, and I put part of that blame on the match, but part of it, like, why do you go to a wrestling show, sit front row, and sit on your hands?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that even nowadays, like, the guys that are always in the front rows of the shows, like, even if what's happening is not that exciting, you're in the front row, man. Like, be excited about it. Because I know, like, you and I, when we go to shows, which we haven't been in a while, like, I just get into it. I turn into, like, a 12-year-old kid again, man.
Yeah.
I'm not the idiot's high five like we talked about last time, but, like, we just get into it. I don't care if I'm sitting front row or nosebleed. Like, get into it, man. So why are you going to pay all that money in Connecticut and just sit on the front row and be bored? So, I don't know.
Maybe they're burnt out a little bit. It's the third match on the card. It's a tough spot on the card.
Yeah,
they've already...
That's true.
A lot of different factors in there.
Again, it was a headlock there, but, like, they just look bored throughout parts of, not just this part of the match. That's the part where I just noted it, but yeah, long headlock. Really long headlock.
Taker works his way out of it. I wrote that there's some sort of miscommunication with the takeover or something. They kind of muff up some little spot with each other, but Taker works out. Bundy hits his avalanche in the corner, and Taker just no-sells it. Body slams him, clotheslines him, and pins him. No choke slam, no tombstone, diving clothesline, not even from the top rope or anything, just a running clothesline, and that's it. Game over. Rest in peace.
Yeah, it's weird. Again, like, it's kind of a strange ending, just like the last match was. Just kind of, I don't know if something was off or what, because the crowd popped really huge when he does that avalanche in the corner and Taker no sells it. And he does the whip his hair back, and shows his face, and the crowd's like comes alive, and then boot, body slam, clothesline, and like that's not like, that's a signature move, but it's not like a finisher, so the crowd's not ready for the match to end. Like, they're probably ready for it to end. I mean, they're like, thank God, but like,
right.
As far as like, these are the signs to lead you into knowing the match is over. Like, they don't have that. They don't have a choke slam or a tombstone or even another old school, just like clothesline, and he pins him. I'm not sure that came out of nowhere, but did you know like Bundy kicked out at like 3.1 seconds?
Yeah,
he kicks out afterward.
He kicks out.
I appreciate that, like, sometimes in some matches, because like it shows that like you're still kind of with it, But he immediately rolls out of the ring, and like he kind of no sells that defeat. Like, I don't know if that was I don't know if anything happened backstage. They went along about, but like it kind of made, I don't know, it kind of made the match, the ending seem a little more, kind of took the wind out of it. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it does. I was going to talk about that. I kind of mentioned it in the last episode, alluded to it a little bit, because we talked about how Undertaker in the last match, he is selling all the way to the back. The fact that he's gotten beat up by King Kong Bundy, he doesn't have the urn anymore, he's stumbling and barely able to stand up all the way to the back until the cameras are off of him. And in this match, I'm not here to judge. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not in the business. But like you said, King Kong Bundy, he kicks out at 3 1/4, which is fine.
Which is fine. I love that. I love that part of the match.
That's a good way to keep a little bit of your heat. Is to kick out a little bit, but rolls out of the ring, stands up, and just walks straight to the back. He's like arguing with Ted DiBiase, and I don't know. Like I said, who am I to say? Maybe King Kong Bundy just had some sour grapes. Maybe he didn't want to put Undertaker over really that much. Maybe he felt like he was a bit of a bigger star and just kind of grumpy about it. But he does not sell at all. He doesn't put over the Undertaker at all. He lays down there for the pin and gets up and walks out of there kind of sour grapes like. So maybe I'm reading more into it than there really was, but it felt like, to me, it looks like somebody who wasn't really happy about doing the job that night, and just makes that pretty clear. I don't know.
And we don't have any confirmation, but that's just speculation. And if any listeners know anything or have heard an interview or something that spells that out, please let us know, because we'd like to have some insight onto that. Because it was very strange,
And Taker, he like snaps up and starts to go after him, and Paul Bearer stops him. And I don't know if that's just he's just trying to sell the character or if he's really legitimately pissed off at him, because he looks legit angry for a second. I don't know.
I don't know, but at this point though, enough about him. There's an awesome cosplayer in the crowd.
Yes.
Did you know?
Yes, I wrote that down.
The Undertaker outfit, he's so good.
I appreciated that.
Yeah, he looks like he looks awesome, man. We'll have to put a picture up on Twitter of him or something.
And there's a camera shot in the ring too. It's pretty. You see it in like almost every Undertaker package from this point out. Of just, it's hard to describe, but he's just standing in the ring and there's like lightning and thunder, and it's just.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's a shot that's been used a lot of just like as close up on his face with the hair back. The eye roll. Yeah, you'll recognize it if you see it in the match. You'll recognize it from 1,000 video packages about The Undertaker. So I didn't realize it was from this match.
Yeah, me neither. Now that you pointed out, I didn't even think about that at the time. But yeah, it is from this match. So yeah, he's got his eyes rolling back in his head, and commentary's like, oh, they're like freaking out about it. I don't know if this is the first time he's done. I mean, it's definitely not, but they get a real good close-up of it. But commentary keeps putting over the buzzword this month is Creatures of the Night.
Yep.
Creatures of the Night. Creatures of the Night. They keep saying it, these are his Creatures of the Night. Both Lawler and Vince keep saying it.
My goodness. Talk about Creatures of the Night. Well, he's going to need these Creatures of the Night more than ever now that he doesn't have that urn. And I know why he calls them Creatures of the Night, because looking around, they look a lot better in the dark.
Over and over, trying to put that, that's what us Undertaker fans are. We're the Creatures of the Night. So, he does the classic pose down on one knee in the ring, and that's that. Match is only 6.5 minutes long, 6:36, and I just wrote it's kind of a dud. Honestly, if you're gonna Meltzer star rating it, it's definitely kind of a dud. It's just, and again, I don't know whose fault that is. But we talked about I don't know if there was actually literally controversy at the end of this match, or if it was just supposed to happen, because nothing comes out of that no sell, I don't think, at the end, and I don't know. But this continues this feud with the $1 Million Corporation. We'll see it continue. Again, Combo, the Supreme Fighting Being Machine, TJ Combo, in his Haynes t-shirt, is going to be his next opponent, I believe.
Yeah, and that's what this match is really, that's what it feels like it's just there for, to set up for the next match.
Maybe that's what Bundy was angry about.
Yeah, maybe so.
Stole his heat.
And yeah, like you said, they're trying to build the Creatures of the Night thing up. They're saying he's getting his power from the Creatures of the Night now, and not the urn. Maybe they're trying to get rid of the urn. Maybe that's why he's going to melt it down, and they're going to say, oh, he gets his power from the Creatures of the Night now. I don't know. I mean, he does get it back and continues to use the urn for a while after this, but maybe the thought at this point was, oh, we don't want to use the urn anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But again, we mentioned that this is a weird time for WWF, and they're trying new things too. Because the next pay-per-view, well, actually next month, like on the calendar, this is when In Your House begins. In May of 1985. So again, for those of you who are too young to remember In Your House, or don't have any idea what it is, or just took it for granted, it was a 2-hour show, and it was $14.95. It was cheap. That's about half the price, or a third of the price of a regular pay-per-view. So, it was just a little pay-per-view, trying to monthly pay-per-view business model at this point, trying to do one every month and load up the card or load up the calendar. Them and WCW are starting to add more pay-per-views. The competition's getting hot. Nitro will debut in a few months, 5 months, I guess. So, the Monday Night Wars are about to begin. So, WWE is trying to strike, or WWF is trying to strike and get this monthly pay-per-view thing going on. So that'll be our next week's pay-per-view. It'll be at the very first In Your House. So,
is he on that one?
Oh no, I'm sorry. He does a dark match. Okay. I apologize. Yeah, he does have a match, but it's a dark match. But yeah, so we will not be talking about that. I apologize. But everything I just said is true. But yeah, we're not going to be talking about that. But we'll be at, I think King of the Ring is next, right?
Our next one that we're going to cover will be King of the Ring 95, a really, really weird one, because we can talk about this more when we get there, but not to spoil it it's 20 years old, but Undertaker eliminated in the first round of a King of the Ring tournament, so back then he had to be looked at as a favorite to win it probably, but actually eliminated in the very first round. So we'll dive more into that. You can watch that if you're following along with our journey. We'll have that one up for you next week.
You should watch In Your House 1 too, though, just for the nostalgia of it, and just
Sure.
to see what a pay-per-view. This is their first one they try, and yeah, he is in a dark match after the show against Kama, I believe. So this is them getting their trial run until we head to when he actually gets his hands on Kama. So yeah, I apologize. I did not mean to say that he was on that show, but he was. For those in attendance, he was there.
And the millions watching around the world.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys were at this show we just talked about, if you guys were there, please let us know. I'm still waiting for somebody to come through on that and send us a picture and let us know they were there. It'd be really cool. But if you're at WrestleMania 11 in Hartford, Connecticut, a bunch of blue bloods up there.
Or if you're one of the photographers standing around the ring, if you're one of those people.
True. Or if you were the cosplayer, if you were that guy.
Definitely. We definitely want to hear from you.
We got a t-shirt for you. The turtleneck coming your way.
You can let us know about all that at Talking Taker on Twitter. Talking Taker, our Facebook page. Go like us over there. We try to post a lot of stuff during the week to build up the match. A lot of the promos, video packages, just weird little clips like Yokozuna on Conan O'Brien's show. Just funny little stuff on there on the Twitter page. And we also try to live tweet some of the pay-per-views, some of the Raws and SmackDowns. I don't get to do it every time, but when I can, try to offer up some commentary on the current scene a little bit on there if you want to follow along. We would love for you to subscribe and follow on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, whatever your favorite podcast listening or watching service. Put a little bit of video clip. We'll put some images and stuff on the YouTube clips, whatever. Some people watch them. I don't know. Anyway, if that's how you want to consume our podcast, if you're out there listening or watching on YouTube, we appreciate that. We appreciate you listening and watching us everywhere. I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for putting up with the past 2 episodes. I've had a bit of a cold as we were recording these, so if I sound a little weird, if you hear some coughing or sniffling in the background, it's just that time of the year for me and maybe for you too, and maybe our listening to this is helping you get through a little bit of sickness or something like that. So hopefully you can appreciate and forgive and commiserate with us on all that. That's all I got to say. You got anything else?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your Black Friday shopping. Please get a WWF turtleneck for us. Other than that, all I got to say is thanks for joining us all. Again, we love all our fans. We love having you guys around there, and take her easy.
You're our number 1 suspect.
But why me, Detective Totoro?
We got eyewitnesses that'll put you at the crime scene and got your fingerprints all over the coffin.
But I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, yeah? Then why you been hiding?
Hiding? I haven't been hiding.
What about the dress?
Dress? What dress?
What was that?
Yes! Oh, yeah!
Hey, put those back on.
What's happened?
As I was saying, you're a decent man, Mr. Barra. And I'm sure you'll excuse me while I take care of this cross-dressing lowlife who desecrates the American flag.
No.